Hey there, thanks for tuning in to Duckbricks. I'm Chris, and I am actually currently on vacation in Billund, Denmark, home of the LEGO Group, but I wanted to take this opportunity to make a quick announcement video that the final round of voting for the Toa Tuyet Fanon Contest is now live. That's right, we started off with nearly 200 entries, and throughout rounds of preliminaries and semifinals, we have narrowed it down to a final count of 8. Now, I cannot wait to see the winner of this contest. It's been a very tight competition. After wrapping up the semifinals, it was very, very hard getting it down from 40 all the way down to 8, but we have done it. There's one final poll. Here I have the prize mask that we are competing for. The final winner of the Toa Tuyet Fanon Contest will receive this as the prize. Now, for the semifinals round of voting, we actually had 40 different entries and got a whopping 400 to 500 votes per entry group. There were 2 groups with 20 entries per group. Now, this was very, very tight, and there were a lot of entries that just barely were outshone by some other entries. But this is nothing compared to what we're going to see in the finals. The other thing I want to make a note of is that I want to give a special thanks to user MTMNC, who was able to actually design a custom Python voting script for me. Without him, it would have been pretty much impossible to tally the votes as fast as we have, but thankfully, it is as easy as literally uploading one file, so thank you so much for sending me that script. It has been incredibly helpful, and with that, I am now ready to announce the 8 finalists for this final round for the Toa Tuyet Fanon Contest. Let's take a look right now. So I've randomized the order of the 8 finalists, which we can see right here. The first one up is Toa Tuyet by GZB mocs. This one I am really impressed by, especially with the shaping of the system flags around the top of the torso. It's a really unique design that still manages to use a Metro torso, but add in a lot of different pieces as well. And that cape looks really menacing, and it's really cool to see King K's Nui Stone being used in the palm of the hand as well. Moving onwards for entry 2, we have Tuyet by StudentScissors. I love the choice of the mask for this particular entry, as well as the waist cape-like design. I also really appreciate the usage of the Vorok/Skrull armor pieces as the side portions of the waist elements right here. It just all comes together really nicely when it looks at the entire color scheme and shaping of the figure in general. The red light in the center of the chest is a nice touch as well. Moving onwards to number 3, we have Toa Tuyet by iBucky00. This has been one of the classic ones online. I love the way the sword is built, using the Thornax launcher pieces to represent the ridges on the sword itself. Of course, it uses the Metro torso as well, but with a lot of different stuff added into it. There's a lot more different pieces filling in the center of the torso itself. Of course, you've got the heart light in the center, and what appears to be the gear function integrated on the back as well. I like the way the upper legs are also custom builds, which seem to be pretty interesting while still fitting in the general aesthetic of the Bionicle G1 storyline. Moving on to number 4, we actually have an art entry. This is the only art entry on the list, and it's really cool to see an art entry actually make it all the way to the finals. This is a really impressive piece of artwork showcasing Tuyet on the throne, and it really does look like this is kind of something that can be built in real life as well, with specific Bionicle pieces that are etched in, such as the Mata feet, as well as the Toa Nuparu armor pieces being used for the lower legs. From there, we have number 5, Tuyet Tyrant Ruler by BonkleChaser. Now, this one actually brick builds a throne for the character itself, which I think was a really cool thing to be used in this particular build. I like the usage of the actual original Bionicle system weapon pieces for the sword there, and the mask choice is very interesting and unique and wasn't really used by that many entries other than this one. Moving on, we have Empress Tuyet, the Tyrant Traitor by Synnova. This is an all-digital entry, but looks absolutely fantastic. I love the way that the sword integrates multiple different components from across different iterations of LEGO history, from the Nexo Knight's blade to the Knight's Kingdom stuff. All sorts of different pieces come together to a really well-fashioned blade, and of course, the general design and look and feel and silhouette of this character is really fantastic as well. This would be such an interesting treat to build physically. While it would involve some spray painting, I think it would be really cool to build this in real life. Moving on, we have number 7, Toa Tuyet by Bob the Doctor 27. This is again one of the classic ones that has been on the internet for quite a while. I actually believe I used this one for the Bionicle Retold series. It's again using the Metro torso, but trying out different things with it, giving her a blend of dark blue and silver as the color scheme. And while the sword is simple, it's very effective, using the bottom piece of the Tahu weapon for the back of the sword, as well as the much larger blade piece for the front. And last but not least, we have Toa Tuyet by Subpar Builds. This is another digital entry, but seems to be using pieces that all exist in the right colors here. I love the usage of the Kina fin pieces for the side portions of the waist cape right there, and I also really appreciate the Bionicle G2 trap pieces for the shoulders. It gives it a very unique and menacing look and feel. But with that, these are all 8 of the final contestants for the finalist round for Toa Tuyet. Now this is going to be a really hard vote because I personally love every single one of these entries, and I would be overjoyed if even any of them were able to be made into the final one. But of course, on the final slide is the voting link. You can click on the voting link yourselves to actually be redirected to our Google Forms voting link. Now this works the exact same way as all of the other ones, where you decide your top 4 favorites. So you start with number 1, you pick your favorite, your second favorite, your third, and your fourth, and we will be using the alternative voting style of voting, which again has been outlined in the system earlier in some previous videos on determining the winner there. So go down to the link below and vote for your favorite Toa Tuyet. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just wanted to say that before we head into the park. Thank you again, and see you at the polls.